Once upon a time, in a cozy little village nestled between green hills and a winding river, there lived a curious young girl named Zoe. Zoe loved exploring and learning new things, so one sunny day, she decided to visit the village soapmaker, Mrs. Jenkins, to learn how bath soap and face soap were made. As Zoe approached Mrs. Jenkins's cottage, she saw big bubbling pots through the window and could smell the sweet scent of flowers wafting through the air. Mrs. Jenkins welcomed Zoe with a warm smile and invited her inside. Mrs. Jenkins began to explain, soap making starts with two main ingredients, fats and an alkali. For bath soap, we use a combination of oils like coconut oil and palm oil, while for face soap, we use gentler oils like olive oil and shea butter to nourish the delicate skin. Zoe listened intently as Mrs. Jenkins continued. First, we mix the fats and the alkali together. Then we heat them up in a big pot. This is called saponification. It's like a magical process where the fats and alkali transform into soap. Zoe watched in amazement as Mrs. Jenkins poured the mixture into molds, shaped like flowers and hearts. After pouring the mixture into the molds for bath soap, we may add fragrances and colors to make it more fun and refreshing, while for face soap, we might add ingredients like chamomile or tea tree oil to soothe and cleanse the skin, Mrs. Jenkins explained. Aside from that, the process is quite similar. We let the soap cool and harden for a few days, then carefully remove it from the molds and cut it into bars. As Mrs. Jenkins showed Zoe the finished bars of both bath soap and face soap, all colourful and smelling delightful, Zoe couldn't help but feel excited. Soap making is like a special craft, Zoe exclaimed, and now I know how to make both bath soap and face soap too. With a grateful smile, Zoe thanked Mrs. Jenkins for sharing her soap making secrets, and from that day on, Zoe knew that every time she used her specially crafted soaps, she would remember the wonderful day she learned how they were made.